Hello and welcome to the weekly Global Heartstream. I'm Gabriel Gonzalez, a professional coach, artist, and speaker who enjoys traveling the world, connecting with amazing people, and talking about the longest, most rewarding journey that you'll ever embark on, the 12-inch journey between your head and your heart. Through individual and group coaching programs, online courses, and live seminars, I teach a heart-centered approach to personal mastery, leadership development, and spiritual growth that helps people become the most loving, joyful, and powerful version of themselves. The Global Heartstream is a weekly dedicated space to help you reconnect with your heart, raise your vibrational frequency, and remind you just how powerful, loving, and amazing you already are. It's also an invitation to unify our hearts with the intention of bringing more love, compassion, and healing to a world that so desperately needs it. You can find out more about my work by visiting gabrielgonsalves.com, where you can also sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, and register for my upcoming seminars. And if you enjoyed this Heartstream, please be sure to subscribe, like, or comment so that we can reach more people and help make this a more loving, compassionate, and heart-centered world. Hello and welcome to the Global Heartstream. I'm your host, Gabriel Gonzalez, broadcasting live on this beautiful Wednesday, the 25th of January from the south of Spain in Granada. And it's really a beautiful day. We've had lots of cold with the temperatures down close to, 1-2 degrees almost every night. But at the same time, beautiful sunny skies during the day. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Cindy. Welcome, Ellen. Welcome, Mariette. Welcome those of you who are joining us just now. Today, we continue, or we'll be actually wrapping up a whole month of conversations about this topic of heart leadership. And the theme for today is adventures in heart leadership. I want you to think of today's topic being more of a dialogue and the opportunity to ask me some questions about anything you want that relates to this topic or any other topic. I'm also going to be sharing some of the insights and a couple of stories about what really supported me along this journey of heart leadership. Okay, so this is going to be happening today. And as you can see already, the 25th of this month, we're nearing the end of the month already. Can you believe it? In just a few days, this first month of the year will be completely gone. And so I want to ask you, is there a word or a short phrase that describes what this first month of January was like for you? I'd love it if you could share that with me in the chat session below. Also, Heartstart 2023 still available to download. This is a free guide to help you bring closure to the year that we just wrapped up. And for those of you who celebrate the Chinese New Year's, we're now on to day 4 of the Chinese New Year. So you get to do this process still if you go on the lunar calendar instead of the solar yearly calendar. It's an invitation to not only bring conscious completion to the past 12 months, but also reconnect with your heart's longings and re-envision what it is that you would like to experience during the rest of this year. Also, if you haven't already done so, please like this video, click the notifications button, or subscribe so that you stay up to date. You get notified just before I go live. And then if you find this guided meditations, the weekly heart streams, and all my other free offerings useful and would like to express your appreciation by making a donation in support of this work, please visit my website, gabrielgonsalves.com/donate. I'm going to put the link here in the chat. I've had several of you asking me to please put the link here. You struggle finding it later so that it's visible. Plus, whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways that I can help you become the best, most loving, authentic, and powerful version of yourself. You can join any of my upcoming courses and training programs. The Heart Leader Training Program, the Advanced Certification Program in Heart Intelligence Coaching, Small Group Facilitation, and Transformational Leadership, it's starting tomorrow. So you still have the opportunity to sign up if this is something that might be of interest to you. Or if you're at the initial stages of this journey of heart awakening, consider enrolling in the introductory course, which is called Heart Mastery, or the intermediate course called Heart Warrior, where we go to not only go over the foundational principles and practices, but we also get to dive in deeper into shadow work and healing work. One of the things that is very common on this journey, and it's some of the things I want to talk to you about today, is that the moment that you begin to connect with your heart, inevitably at some point you are likely to come up against some of the traumas that you experienced many, many, many years ago, and that for whatever reason were completely ignored. All the emotions, literally they're parts of the heart that have become blocked and almost like dead. And so as you start connecting with the heart, as love begins to come in, the energy of love itself begins to summon all the unlovings within us. Why? Well, simply so that it can be healed. It's a necessary and unavoidable aspect of this journey. Many of us come into the journey thinking that, let's move into the heart and everything is going to be really beautiful, and we're going to be sitting by the fire singing kumbaya and drinking wine, and everything's going to be very happy. And though there are moments like that, you realize that the inward journey to the heart means also dealing with those unexamined aspects of ourselves, shadows, emotional wounds, traumas, all these different things that we, for whatever reason, escaped, ignored, avoided, right? This is one of the consequences of living primarily out of our left brain, out of our heads, our intellect. So this is the invitation to do that and to do it together. All right, so let me see what some of the words that came up for the question. Is there one word or short phrase that describes the first month for you? Mariette says focus. Ellen says still laughable. Cindy's heart says change. Yeah, for me, undoubtedly, I think the word would be re-envision. Really, this whole month gave me the opportunity to go back and to my original vision that got me going several years ago. And then, revise aspects of it. You're going to notice that as you walk this path, as you begin to walk the path of your heart and really follow your heart's calling, the Camino itself begins to give you feedback, just like any Camino does, any journey does. And that requires some adjustments, or things that you thought you really loved and you liked, you were going to enjoy. It turns out you don't. Once you're actually doing them, you realize, this isn't me. Okay. But I needed to get out and start on this journey to discover that. Otherwise, I never would have discovered that. Catalina, welcome all the way out from College Station in Texas, home of the Aggies. Giga Maggies. Her word is chaotic. You started with chaos. Yeah. Well, that can only be an indication, Catalina, in my experience, that a new order, it's going to emerge. Okay. And it's one of the things that you hear about, especially if you go on social media and start looking at some people's posts, you hear these references made over and over again about the new world order. Okay. And for some people, it's part of a conspiracy theory. For other people like me, it's just the nature of life itself. Life is constantly throwing our lives into chaos so that a new order can emerge. So my invitation to you, which is also what I've done myself, is to look inward, and rather than focusing so much on what's happening on the outside, which, as you know, it's impregnated with a lot of fear, rather look inward and ask yourself, what is the new order that is really emerging in me? I think when you do that, you let go of all these malicious entertainment or distractive entertainment to really come to a place within you where you can really connect with your heart and connect with that part of you that knows that it knows that you're being called to do things differently in this next stage of your life. You're being called to awaken to new gifts, to develop new capacities, new habits. You're being called to, in essence, bring forth into your reality, into your life, something completely new that has not existed before. This is why it's called the new order. Okay. And so, what is the new order? Well, it's unique for each and every one of us, because remember that we are all following our own unique path, and our own path has its own set of unique lessons that each and every one of us is here to master. And no two paths are alike, and no two curriculums are the same. So focus on your own curriculum. Focus on what it is that you believe God, the universe, spirit is asking of you at this moment. All right, so let's dive into just a couple of the core ideas or concepts that we've already explored this month. And this will seem like a little bit of a review, but while I'm doing this, what I like to do is invite you, if you want to ask me any questions that you want to, with regards to anything that I bring up or anything else that you'd like to ask me. Okay, I want you to think of this last Heartstream of the month to be more of a Q&A, so that it's not so much me talking at you, but interacting with you a bit more. This is the only thing I don't really like about these live streams, I have to say, is as somebody who is on a day-to-day basis sitting in a circle with others and facilitating workshops and programs, I really enjoy the live interaction that happens when we're together. And over here, it's one way I get to hear from you, but I really miss that connection. First of all, I can't see you. I know you're here, those of you who are here. Second, some of you are watching the replay, and so I don't even get to know who's watching this later on, but just know that everything is coming from the same heart regardless. Okay, so very basic definition that we explore this month with regards to heart leadership is a heart leader is someone who in essence follows their heart and helps other people do the same. That's what it's called, heart leader. He's not only leading from the heart, but he's also leads other hearts where? To their heart. There is such a thing as the heart behind the heart, or the heart of the heart. A more right brain definition textbook would be a heart leader is someone who coaches, guides, and supports other people through their personal transformation from a place of courage, compassion, kindness, and love. And this awareness is developed by mastering 9 skills. We explore these 9 skills. And last week, if you missed our broadcast, we also explored the 9 laws of heart leadership, each one related to these skills. But I want to stay here on this little map or description of those 4 stages of this path that ultimately leads to what I call heart leadership. You can think of this also as the 4 stages of the spiritual path, where we all begin sleep pretty much. And stage 1, okay, where we're operating primarily out of our heads, out of our intellect, and we kind of live in the comfort of what is known. But something happens that either cracks our hearts wide open or invites us to go out on a journey of discovery. And that's when we move into the stage of the heart, or we initiate the journey of heart awakening. And along that process, something really wonderful, so many wonderful things begins to happen. And we start for the very first time accessing this set of inner resources of love, wisdom, and power that become available to you when you start connecting to your heart. And then, as I was saying earlier, as you begin to look inward and as you begin to awaken to your own heart's awareness and this sense of interconnection or interconnectedness, sorry, with all of life, right? As love gets in, love begins to summon all unlovingness within us. It's completely normal. It's part of the journey. Okay. And so we invited them to go into another stage. I call it the stage of the warrior. All right. Where we start now allowing this spiritual love, which is what I refer to as the Christ in you, the consciousness of the Christ, the same consciousness that was in Jesus the Christ, to awaken in you. Because only through that higher level of unconditional love will you be able to transcend your personality, your ego, your limitations, your self-defeating behaviors, your addictions, all of that, which in essence was a response to the world, to trauma, to other people hurting you, breaking your heart open. So you had to do all these things to protect yourself, to avoid the pain. And so when we're in the stage of the warrior, this is a lot of people, this is when they tend to isolate themselves because, there's a time to open your heart. And so when we initiate this journey, we may go out and make a lot of like-minded friends or heart-minded friends, or like Hartmut like to say, like-hearted friends, right? But something like you. And you may attend retreats and seminars where you get to receive a lot of information and feel really excited about the journey. But after a while, as love gets in and it begins to summon all the unlovingness within you, there's now a need to retreat, to find a place where you can say, oh, I have all these things buried deep inside of me. And now it's time to bring them out and start to treating myself and these old wounds with compassion. And then this is when forgiveness becomes probably your most important, most powerful tool, as well as letting go, the process of surrendering. So what begins to happen is parts of you begin to die. A lot of people, when they're experiencing this third stage, experience something very similar to what St. John of the Cross referred to as the dark night of the soul, which I believe is really the dark night of the ego, right? This personality, this false self that we have created begins to die. And so as a result, we no longer find pleasure in the world. We feel as if we have been abandoned. And the only way to reconnect again with this light and this love is by journeying inward to ultimately the source of that love within you. Okay, this is why we use the metaphor of the warrior, the sun rising, because sooner or later you will be asked to confront your own darkness until you rise to a level where your heart begins to shine, where a new vision begins to emerge. And then as a result of that, you move into this stage that I call the leader. Your own heart's calling sends you into a new direction. And more often than not, this direction involves helping other people or being of service to humanity in some way or form, in a way that it's ideal and perfect for you. And this is when you then rise up to the occasion. All right, are you with me so far? Anybody has any questions about any of these three things? We had already spoken about this, so I know this is going to be review for the majority of you. And just want to make sure that, if you have any questions, type them in. So I call this theme today Adventures on the Path of Higher Leadership. And so what I want to do is just share 3 stories. And I'll do my best to be brief also so that we have the necessary time for our guided meditation that illustrate my own passage through these 3 stages. So first I want to talk about my journey from the level of stage 1, the level of the mind or the hermit, to stage 2, and then from stage 2 to stage 3, having really my heart cracked wide open, and then stage 4, which is the stage of the leader. Okay. So my heart awakening, which is the journey from stage 1 to stage 2, happened exactly 14 years ago when I was living in South Africa, or rather, when I had just arrived in South Africa. For 25 years before that, I had been quite engaged in the world of entertainment industry. I used to ride horses professionally as well. And I was a Venezuelan guy who was pretty much in love with himself. I admit it, I was. I was probably one of the most vain, self-centered, selfish person I ever met, even though I believed, or I tried to believe at that moment, that I was very loving and spiritual, which at some level I suppose I was. But my point was, I was operating primarily from my ego. I was operating in every aspect of life with this attitude of what's in for me. How will this relationship, this opportunity benefit me? What's in it for me? And as a result, I think I had lived the first 40 years of my life very selfishly. All about me, all about having my needs met, uh, unwilling to embrace other people's perspective. Okay. And then as a result of that, yeah, um, created a lot of pain and broke a lot of hearts, and also had my heart broken many, many times, filled with a lot of disappointments. And so I pursued a career as an actor because I somehow believed as a child that actors has a certain kind of power or magnetism. And I wanted to have what those actors had. I wanted to be loved and liked and admired by everybody. And so I pursued that for many, 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 many years. And that became my God, really. That became the source of my joy and well-being. So if I was loved and liked by other people, some people liked my performance, that I was happy. Somebody didn't like my performance, that I was down and depressed. So I lived my life primarily for other people. My source of happiness laid outside of myself. If somebody approved of me, that made me feel good. If somebody disapproved of me, complained, I was very depressed. And so that continued for many, many, many years until my arrival in South Africa to work on a film project. And some of you already know the story, but I arrived in South Africa, and shortly after that, I was mugged, robbed. So passport, ID, credit cards, everything completely gone. And the day after that happened, I was fired from the job. The production company closed down, and they decided not to do the project. They pulled the plug on the project. So now imagine, I just turned 40. I'm in South Africa. I don't really know anybody. The crew that I traveled there with, they all left. So I'm alone. I can't travel. I don't have money. And then the following week, my mother dies. She had been diagnosed with lung cancer the month before. So it was rather a very, very short opportunity of time that she had. We didn't really have the opportunity to say goodbye. So these three things: my career, money, and my mother, whom I had a very deep and close relationship with, they were all gone. Well, I'm in this strange land where I don't know anybody. And it was there, shortly after my 40th birthday, where for the very first time I experienced this thing that I can only redefine as heart awakening, which came for me as in the form of extreme emotional pain, where I remember going to bed every night thinking that my heart was just like split in two, and the pain was so unbearable. I remember I would pray to God to take my life, because I did not want to wake up to experience the same pain the following day. And in the midst of this suffering, this pain, and this confusion, and all of that, I went to see a counselor, spiritual counselor. And when I shared with her what had been happening the past few days, with a lot of compassion, she told me, Gabriel, what you're experiencing is the cracking open of your heart. And it had to happen this way because you haven't been listening. There's a call within your heart. You've been ignoring it. You've been too focused on you. And so it's now time to really start listening to this part of you that knows the bigger reason why you're here. And as a result of this, you will be reborn. And this is the experience most people who experience heart awakening and spiritual awakening, because as you know, it is part of the spiritual journey, ultimately have. And so I remember that this woman said to me, it's time to start listening to your heart. And you're way out of the situation. You're way out of this pain that you're feeling right now. Start listening to your heart. And that's the moment where then the decision was made from a place of knowing to stay in South Africa, to start new, even though I had no idea what I was going to be doing, where I was going to be working, how I was going to be earning a living. Like none of that. None of that. I had no idea. And so for me, the movement then into this second stage happened rather traumatic. They call it initiation by fire, when you least expect it. So it's a little bit of Catalina. I think she referred to when she spoke about chaos, or, it happens in a sudden way, unexpected way. Ellen is commenting, I had the experience this week of feeling 10 feet tall. It almost felt spiritual. However, I'm more amused by it than anything else. Has anyone had this experience? Yeah, great. I love what you're commenting on, Ellen, because if you remember when we looked at the stages, there's a stage of the leader. And how do I define it? Well, I call it the rising up. The rising up. I want you to think of what Ellen described here as what happens once you continue to walk along the spiritual path and you move into the heart, and then you begin to do the healing that is required. The more you connect with your own Christ consciousness, call it your higher self, your divine essence, etc., the lighter you begin to feel, and the taller you begin to also experience life. Why? Well, because the heart, as you move into a greater connection with kind of unity or oneness, gives you the opportunity to see things from a completely, or from a higher perspective, rather. Okay. And so this is the reason why I'm constantly here, week in, week out, when we go into our meditation. I'm constantly invoking and appealing to the Christ within each and every one of us. Okay, I'm not referring to as the religious Christ. No, I'm speaking about the same consciousness that was in Jesus, the same consciousness that also lived in Buddha, that lived in Krishna, that lived in every bodhisattva, saint, guru, lama, that has been able to infuse this limited self that I've been referring to as the personality with a higher octane of love and light. And then what happens when love and light gets in? Well, love rises you up where you belong, like the song goes. And so you're raised to a higher ground, literally, where from that space you can see things from a completely different perspective. So that is the invitation. That is the invitation. For those of you who are feeling called to follow their hearts, to initiate their journey towards heart awakening, or to initiate the journey of cleaning up and healing, or to initiate the journey of being of service to more people, to humanity, whether if you choose to do that one-on-one, or by starting a family, or by starting a business, it doesn't matter. We all feel called to serve in many different ways. The important thing is that you continue to call forth and summon the divine forces of unconditional love. I don't care what you call it. What I care is that you call it forth, because that, I believe, my friends, is the only thing that will allow you to transcend your limited beliefs, your personality, your past, your history, your DNA, your conditioning, like all of that. It's what I refer to as the law of transcendence. You can only transcend your own humanity and self-imposed limitations by aligning with a higher consciousness. You cannot align with the same consciousness that created it. You have to appeal to a higher level of being. And that's why it feels then like you're being raised, because the truth is, you are being raised. Your energetic vibration is lifted up. Okay. And then as a result of that, you begin to have greater access to intuition, sense of inner knowing, and you don't really know why. What are some of the books that I would recommend you read or you explore as if you're embarking on this journey? Well, let me just recommend a few before we go into our guided meditation. I think a wonderful book to initiate this journey with is Tesh Steiner's Waking Up with Everyone Around Us. It's a beautiful book that tells the story of what it means to operate from the mind and then to move into the heart. Also, Dr. David Hawkins' Letting Go, the Pathway of Surrender, will help you let go of all this, all the emotions, feelings that have been inside of the heart or sometimes blocked somewhere inside of the body, so that you can then release all this unconscious fear, guilt, shame, anger, all these emotions that for whatever reason you've been avoiding all these past years, so that you can rise into a higher frequency of love. And then for any of you who wants to go deeper into, think of this as the path of transcendence or moving into a greater place of being of service, I highly recommend that you read the book A Course of Love. A Course of Love, it's a book that was received by Mary Perron, and it is to the heart what A Course of Miracles is to the mind. It's a very simple book, and I will guarantee you it will transform your life. It's not a book that is meant to be studied. It doesn't have a lot of exercises. You know, the way that I've experienced this book, and I'm rereading it now for the second time, it's almost as if a transmission is broadcast to you as a result of reading the book. And I cannot explain it. You have to read the book itself, and everything will become really clear at the end. When you go through like the 40 days in the desert, you'll understand when you read the book. So I really recommend that you don't just get the book. I invite you to get the book that has the discourses and the dialogues, because the discourses and the dialogue help deepen the understanding of some of the very concepts and ideas discussed in the text, and help you embody that in your life. Okay. But I can tell you this book will accelerate your journey of spiritual awakening. All right. So with that as a introductory part of our time together, let's move then into our meditation. But before we do that, I want to invite you to become familiar with the affirmations that I'm going to be using during the guided process, just so that you have the awareness. And when we move into the heart, we'll be anchoring them deeper into our unconscious mind. You're going to notice that some of these affirmations will be familiar, and it's because I decided to create a collection of the affirmations that we've been using for the past few weeks. So please place a hand over your heart. Take a deep breath into the heart, and please repeat after me. I now choose to listen to my heart and follow my inner wisdom. It's easy to speak my truth, be myself, and fully embrace others. I now choose to show up each day as the best version of myself. I surrender my fear of failure, comparisons, and self-doubt. I believe in myself and I trust the divine plan for my life. I am strong, kind, and courageous, and I'm not afraid to act. Miracles of healing, abundance, and success are happening every day. Deep inhale to the heart. And imagine the awareness of these affirmations now begin to be absorbed into the heart and the mind and the body, for we know that consciousness is everywhere within the body. Please close your eyes. And take a few moments to once again come into the awareness of this present moment, the here and the now, by paying attention to the breath and the heartbeat. The two primary rhythms within the body. In silence, with a hand right in the middle of the chest, simply observe and feel the breath and the heartbeat. Begin now to breathe into the heart, breathing slowly, breathing nice and deep, and breathing nice and evenly so that the inhale and the exhale are approximately the same length. As you breathe in and out of the heart, allow the head, the neck, and the shoulders to relax, letting go of any unnecessary tension, softening the face muscles, softening the jaw, letting it all loosen up, almost as if creating more space between the organs, the cells, for this life force that is your breath to enter, to soften. We let go also of any unnecessary tension around the stomach area, the pelvic area. Relaxing the arms, relaxing the legs. As we become more and more and more aware of the energetic space our bodies occupy, filling the totality of this space with your breath. Allowing yourself to become more and more present to each breath, more present to each heartbeat, and to the infinitely loving presence that powers the breath and energizes the heartbeat. See, feel, and imagine now that there is a cord or laser that connects your heart to the heart of God, the heart of the cosmos, the central sun, the source of all that there is. And as you breathe into your heart, imagine that you are drawing from the infinite source. And that its energy, its power is now flowing into your body. In the name of the Father, the Mother, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. In the name of the I Am Presence and Holy Christ Self of everyone here today and speaking on their behalf, I connect and unify my heart to the infinitely loving, nurturing, caring heart of God. Know that where I am, God is. Know that where Ellen is, God is. Where Catalina is, God is. Where Cindy is, Mariette, Marilyn, God is. Knowing that where every person is right now, God is with them. For God is the source of their heartbeat. I feel gratitude for this impulse that powers my heart. I feel gratitude for all that I have received, many blessings, the miracles in disguise, and the infinite grace of God that continues to love me, care for, guide me, and support me each day of my life, even when I feel alone and abandoned, unloved, and scared. Even in my darkest moment, God is. Even when I'm feeling most unloved and alone, God is. In the midst of chaos, God is. When everything is going fantastic and my way, God is. God is because there is no place where God is not. but the Creator is equally present throughout the entire creation. I give thanks for the presence of God in my life. I give thanks for the friendships of friends, colleagues, family, partners, and everyone else that I'm connected to. I allow my heart to well up with this energy of gratitude and appreciation, resting in the awareness that I am the life of God, breathing me. I am the drumbeat of God as my heartbeat. Therefore, I know and recognize my capacity to create as God creates. Choosing to bring into form, into experience that which I imagine, focus upon, and act upon. I give thanks for this. For the next few moments, I dwell in this feeling of gratitude and appreciation for all that I am, all that I do, all that I have, and for how far I've come on my life journey. I've made it, I've survived it, I've become stronger as a result, and every day I continue to wake up with faith, hope, and optimism that the sun will rise again, that I'll have the opportunity to start again, to do things different, to try new things, to develop new skills, to open up to even more possibilities. For I know and recognize that I live in an unconditionally loving and infinitely abundant universe whose nature is goodness, benevolence, abundance. And I choose to participate in this infinite bounty of gifts. With an open heart, an open mind, and open hands, I say in essence, let God's grace fall upon me. Let God's healing come to me. Heal me, restore me, re-energize me, revitalize me. In the name I am that I am, I claim my divine inheritance, which is the Christ in me. I claim and I declare it done here and now, fully accomplished. Fully done according to the divine will. Letting God be God in my life and in the life of everyone around me. Letting God in me speak to me through my heart and guide my decisions, my choices, and my actions each and every day. In perfect relationship and unity with the Christ in me, I now declare, please repeat after me. I now choose to listen to my heart and follow my inner wisdom. It's easy to speak my truth, be myself, and fully embrace others. I now choose to show up each day as the best version of myself. I surrender my fear of failure, comparisons, and self-doubt. I believe in myself and trust the divine plan for my life. I am strong, kind, and courageous, and I'm not afraid to act. Miracles of healing, abundance, and success are happening every day. And so it is, and it is so. We allow this feeling of gratitude and appreciation now to grow within our hearts and begin to radiate it out to every person who is part of this virtual circle today. Letting goodness flow, letting blessings flow, letting the energy of compassion and care go out from our hearts. We allow this vibration now, this light to expand even more now to include our friends, our family. Let the light of our hearts go out to any friend, family member who might be experiencing pain, discomfort. Let it all go out also to our friend Mary Rinaldi, who is at home recovering from surgery. Let it go out to all those people that are part of our family circle, friend circles, co-workers. And let it go out now to the world. Imagine hearts flying across continents, bringing the good news, bringing the true gospel. The kingdom of love lies within, that the Christ has been resurrected inside of our hearts as the vibration of unconditional love, 5D, compassion, kindness, interconnection, unity, and joy. May May all sentient beings be free of suffering and sickness. May all rest in the light and shine with the One. Take a moment now to ask our hearts, my heart, what are you longing for? And then allow your heart to speak to you in the way in which your heart communicates with you. My heart, what are you longing for? We initiate now our journey back into the full awareness of our time together. Choosing to bring this awareness of interconnectedness and unity into our next activity, whatever that may be. To the next meeting, the next encounter. Knowing that something profound and wonderful has happened here today as a result of our intention to unify our hearts, raise our frequency, raise each other, and create a stronger planetary grid that is uplifting everyone around us. We can open the eyes now and get used to once again our surroundings. And if you feel like it, I'd love it if you could share what new insight, realization, or awareness you're taking with you today. What were you reminded of today? What are you taking with you today? Feel free to comment in the section below this video or in the chat section if you're here live. Well, we are now, as I said earlier, nearing the end of the month. And with a new month comes a new theme. As we move into February, I want to invite you to explore the theme of what it means to reclaim your true power. You kind of know already what that means, don't you? And where we're going to be heading with this. So throughout the entire month of February, we're going to be reclaiming our true power in different areas of our lives where we have been giving it to other people or to external circumstances. That's the invitation for next month. I want to remind you, in case you got here a bit late, that the Heart Start Guide, my free guide to help you plan and have a wonderful 2023, still available for download on my website. Also, that you can subscribe to these events, to the Heartstreams, and so you get notifications anytime that you want to. And again, if you find these guided meditations and weekly Heartstreams useful and you want to express your gratitude and appreciation, I certainly welcome donations. I placed the link earlier in the chat today. You also find a link in the description below this video. All right, let me see who are some of the comments that came in. Oh, look who we have here. Mary Rinaldi Healing, much needed. Love heals everything. You're welcome, Mary. Glad that you could be with us today. And then Hernandez says, I'm taking away renewal and a namaste baby. Did you have a namaste baby while you were here today? Mariette says, God lives in and through me. The awareness. Yes, indeed. Catalina says, miracles in disguise are the beauty of chaos. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Gabs, for the insight. Wishing you all a great rest of the week. Lots of healing energy to Mary. And so it is. What else? Thank you, Gabs. You're very welcome, Marilyn Leary. Advika says, gratitude for the goodness that emanates from you into the world that needs to heal from negativity. Prayers work their magic and miracles. Yes, it is very true. Amanda says, I feel so empowered. That's wonderful. All right, my beautiful friends, thank you once again for hanging out with me today, lending me your hearts and ears. And I hope you're walking around feeling renewed, refreshed, stronger, and more importantly, more connected to your own heart and the inner source of divinity that lives within you. I look forward to seeing you next week when we'll be starting a whole new month designed to help you reclaim your true power. And so I wish you a fantastic rest of the week. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye-bye for now. Thank you for joining me in this week's Heartstream. I hope you're walking away feeling more connected to yourself and your divinity, to the planet, to others, and to all of life. Please be sure to subscribe so that you can receive notifications about upcoming broadcasts. And if you would like to sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, or register for my upcoming trainings and seminars, be sure to visit my website, gabrielgonzalez.com. Until the next time, please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye for now.